about that long to update it. And we have a lot of changing situations in our town, and I just made copies of the article from the Western States that I'd like to give to council for consideration. And what I would like to do is make the just to accept the recommendation, but just with adding that we council directs general plan at the earliest convenience to begin looking at the updating of the general plan.
Can we do that?
I don't think we can do that. I don't think it's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda, so we can't do that? Okay, so maybe we can consider it at
One
another
thing we
time.
can do, Elizabeth, I think, is to pull it off the agenda and consider it next
No,
time.
no, I don't think we can.
Yes.
Well, but I
Can we
think,
do that?
I-
We can do that.
can we just pull
We do
it?
that because, Mr. Mayor, it's listed on the agenda essentially as having to do with 65-400 of the government code, which is in fact the planning and general planning area of the government code. So you certainly can talk about it, but I would feel lots more comfortable if you took it off the agenda so that the public had a right to comment on it as well.
Okay,
So I would propose that we take it out of the agenda for reconsideration next month.
Would you like to hear from the planner on some of the work they've already done?
Well,
Maybe the
is
impact.
that,
well, I think there's some timing issues.
well, we need to vote on that, to take it out of the agenda, but I'm not sure if we're taking out the agenda that we need to know about your work. We can wait till it comes back on the agenda, I think.
Is there a time to problem? Did something go wrong, Lisa? Is this time dependent?
I'm not sure about the timing on transmitting. I just wanted to let you know that we are working through the general plan committee. We did have a meeting to discuss some updates to the general plan, specifically relating to the items that are here. And the next step is to take that to the planning commission. So if you wanted to so authorize just transmittal of the report to the state, I could come back to you at a future meeting to talk about a more comprehensive general plan update if you would like.
That would be fine with me. I just wanted to bring it to our consciousness,
All right,
you
so
know.
let's have a vote on the basis of what Lisa's saying. I'll vote that we go along with what Lisa's saying.
Well, I think we just need to keep this on the consent
Keep it on the
calendar.
consent calendar, and Lisa will give us an
All right.
update.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
fine.
okay, that was my comment. Okay?
Okay, so on the items that we're pulling tonight, we're pulling item number 9. I'm just going to comment on 9. All right, okay, you comment on 9.
Okay, my comments on 9 are, there were a number of things that are in the check register that actually can be deemed as not included in the budget and are discretionary. And I would request that staff bring those forward before we write the checks for those things, as some of the memberships that were in there, that my conversations with Mr. Danielson has indicated that even one for his office, he didn't ask for that membership. That we, instead of just writing the checks when the invoices come in, we actually go through a review of those, and that for the budgeting process, that staff be made aware of all the memberships we have, and the memberships that aren't there will not be included in the budget. Okay?
Agreed.
Okay.
Yes. Council consensus.
The next item on the agenda was number 11, moved by Bill, moved by Jerry, and moved by Rick. So is that a comment, or do you want?
They pulled it, I have.
We pulled it. Is that a pulled item, or you just want to comment?
I could make a comment, I think, on that. 2 comments. Matter of fact, in the item that talks about cost for staff time associated with the project will be paid out of the library building fund. And I just want to make sure that we have a mechanism set up to capture all the costs of staff time for the project. My expectation would be that the town general fund will be made full for any town expenses incurred for the library project. All staff times, starting at the top, the city manager and department heads. And I just want to make sure that we have that mechanism set up, and I have a second for it.
Okay.
My second point is that I asked the question in connection with the cost being allocated to the project, just the general cost the town incurs for the library on an ongoing basis. I raised a question at a council meeting several months ago about the disparity between what our town was charging and what Woodside was charging. I think it was about $100,000 at Woodside at the time. So the finance director was kind enough to get information on Woodside by line item number, and it's quite interesting. I don't know that we've had a chance to compare that with our own costs, but for example, utilities, Woodside's charging like for water and PG&E like $13,000. They have other line items that are I won't go into right now, but I just think it might be well worth our while to take a look at that in detail, make sure we're covering the costs.
So are you willing to keep it in the consent?
Yeah, I am, yes. I just want to make those comments.
Okay, the next item,
No, I've got comments,
Well,
but I think Elizabeth also called, you asked for it to be pulled, right?
Right, well, yes, because
okay, that one's cool.
Next
We're on.
item.
Next item that was pulled was item 16.
We're still on 11.
well, I think
This is
we're gonna
11
handle,
being pulled.
we're gonna handle it later.
So, item 16, is that one of yours, Bill? Elizabeth, you want that pulled? Or that one?
15 was pulled,
I pulled it.
so
You have
we'll just
16.
put, but, okay, so, did you pull it? Did you
Yeah,
pull it?
I pulled 15.
Okay. So I just felt that the item number 16, we need a little bit more discussion that I would like to have in, not on the consent calendar.
So we'll pull it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think,
And then number 18 was pulled because of the city manager. And
So-
also number 23.
having pulled items 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, and 25, and I now have a motion to approve the consent calendar.
With one, you didn't ask me, but there's a change in number 14, the resolution needed to be amended because it did not have the subject in one of the paragraphs, so I gave it to Teresa, just, it's a technical change, that needed a subject statement that the town of Atherton doing that, and so she's made that change.
Sorry, Kim.
But for that, there were only two things I needed pulled and they've already been pulled.
Okay, so can we now have a motion?
So moved, but for those items that
Okay,
we pulled.
all in favor?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we go to the regular agenda. And I'm going to cover the regular agenda items before we cover the ones that have been pulled. Number 28 is to form an ad hoc committee to help develop and improve communications and work and review of rates and contracts with the refuse and recycling agreement between the town and the ecology. And John,
Mayor, council members, my only comment is that I know a lot of you have really put a lot of effort into doing your own research on this, and I think we're at a point in our research with ecology and the waste authority. It's time to bring a subcommittee in to start finalizing where we're going to go, both on the next rate hearing as well as the rate adjustment that will be required at the end of this year going into next year. So I would request that two of you who can do it at the time so would be appointed to help out on that.
okay. I guess the first thing we have to do is probably to approve an ad hoc committee for 2 members. Is that correct?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Could we talk about this committee for just a sec? You mentioned about the rates. I'd like the committee to also look at the cost side,
Absolutely, unquestionably.
because we still have questions about the underlying cost assumptions that were made that I think were driving the rates.
If I was unclear on that, all of the technical aspects that contribute to where we are today, I hope have to be examined, and it is very complex.
Before we ask for a vote to form a committee, I would ask members of the council if they have any other comments. If none, I will also now turn it over to the public if they have any other comments on this item. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council and ask for a vote that we form an ad hoc committee of 2 council members to be designated to act as liaison, help develop and improve communications and work review of rates and contracts with refuse, recycling agreement between the town and technology, and add costs.
I move that.
Okay, all in favor?
Second.
All right. Now,
Can I just,
Mr. Mayor,
yeah,
just as a point of clarification, if the town council creates the so-called ad hoc committee with a continuing subject matter jurisdiction, it then becomes Brown Act compliant. If the city council authorizes the mayor to appoint a subcommittee, it then is not Brown Act compliant because then it is not an official
yes.
well, that's better.
presentation by the city council. It's certainly your call, but I mean, one requires a lot of...
I was going to ask now at this stage for members of the council who wish to be in this committee.
May I make a motion that the mayor have the power to appoint an ad hoc committee to deal
I'll
with the
second
subject?
that.
Okay, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
So,
All right, I will appoint an ad hoc committee.
well,
and,
wait a minute, there's a motion on the floor, I seconded, we have to call for the vote.
all right, let's have a vote on that. That we appoint an ad hoc committee.
That we allow the
No, I
mayor...
appoint an ad hoc committee.
All those in favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Can I make just one quick comment? We received an email from a resident who had a little concern about the notice that went out that the table charging the additional $5 for green waste was not highlighted enough or visible enough, and that if we send out future notices, I just wanted to bring her concern to council and to whoever you're going to appoint on the ad hoc committee, that they're aware of that, so we can duly noted. Great, okay.
Next item on the agenda is a progress report on the construction status and compliance at 297 Bolinas Avenue. And Dennis, I think you're the point man on this.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, I've been continuing to follow the progress of the project at 297 Bolinas. The property owner, Sean Mushaport, is here this evening. Today I provided to you, there are copies in the back of a schedule that he's presented to the town, talking about when he expects to complete the project. We have been going there on a weekly basis, and our building staff have been involved in inspecting the construction process. I'm optimistic that he can meet the schedule, and I followed closely his thinking in regard to how he can accomplish being done by the end of June. And it appears from progress he's made so far that he's doing quite well. And if you'd like to consider continuing to allow him to work on the project as he has so far, that would be my recommendation.
Okay, do I have any comments from the members of the council?
Mr. Mayor, I did visit the site, and I'm pleased to see that the list that was presented to us tonight, weekly project list of when they expect to get certain things done, and it looks like that the completion date is within the boundaries that the council set.
I've also visited the site as late as yesterday, and I had been there the month before, and I'd seen a lot of activity in the month's period of time. There's been a lot of progress on it. I asked staff, specifically Dennis, if you would look at that bar chart that was presented in January and draw a line as to where you think we are vis-a-vis where the owner feels he is, so we know where we stand. I would feel comfortable at least understanding your assessment. I did spend time with not only the owner but his wife, and you know, I assured them that you know we really want him to be successful in getting things done, and it will be tight, I think, getting it done. I think that there's still a lot of work to be done, but they are putting in the effort, so